Hello students, myself Nirupam Chatterjee, representing Scorer Arena of Digital Book Series for NEET 2021 aspirants. Today I am going to discuss oxidation reduction, which you will find in NCERT text class 11 portion part 2. In discussing oxidation reduction, here we have emphasized on those topics which are very much important with respect to competitive exams. We try to frame some questions, and if we go through these questions, then you will understand what you have to study, what you have to deal with this chapter or redox. So in this chapter, we have framed the questions in such a way that will clear your ideas, like what is the distinction between oxidation state and oxidation number, how to find oxidation number in different cases, if we find oxidation number fractional in some cases, so what will be the paradox of determining this fractional oxidation state, or maybe if there will be any peroxy linkage, how to find out number of peroxy linkage present in a compound, and so many other ideas we will find in this video. So let us start with our journey, the chapter that is oxidation reduction or redox. The first question we have set here, distinction between oxidation state and oxidation number. So it is a very important question and very important conceptual question, I would say. Most of the cases you have the idea oxidation state and oxidation number may be same, but practically there will be a slight difference between oxidation number and oxidation states. So let us see what are the options given. Oxidation number is the average oxidation state of an element present in a species. So oxidation number, it is said to be the average of the oxidation states present in a compound. So let us try to explain it with a proper example. If we deal with a compound like Fe3O4, it is ferrosoferric oxide, one of the well studied example, ferrosoferric oxide. So here definitely iron having oxidation state, it will be plus 8/3, and oxygen it is -2. If you have problem, you can calculate it. Take iron having oxidation state X. We are taking oxidation state of iron or oxidation number of iron, it is X. So 3X. For each oxygen it is -2. For 8 oxygen it will be -8. So we have this value X is equal to plus 8/3. Okay. So here the value we determine, it actually comes the oxidation number of iron in Fe3O4. Actually, is there any iron present in Fe3O4 that will have a real oxidation state that is plus 8/3? The answer is no, because in Fe3O4 it is a mixed oxide. It exists in form of two oxides like FeO and followed by Fe2O3. Okay, so iron here, it will have, it is plus 2 in FeO, iron is plus 2, in Fe2O3 iron is plus 3. So if we find out the average oxidation state, average of oxidation state of all the iron present in it, so one iron having plus 2 charge, definitely 2 iron that will have plus 3 charge, divided by, there will be total of 3 irons, and we have, it will be plus 8/3. So when we find out oxidation number, really it represents the average of the real oxidation state present in a compound. So the first option, oxidation number, it is the average of oxidation state, definitely it gives a correct statement. It provides a correct statement. Now the next statement, oxidation state is determined as per structure of the compound. So see, if we try to find out the oxidation state, then we have to draw its structure, and from the structure we will try to find out its oxidation state. So here also in Fe3O4, practically it seems that iron is in plus 8/3, but when we study this compound, we are finding none of the iron is in plus 8/3 oxidation state. Some irons they are in plus 2 oxidation state, and some irons they are in plus 3 oxidation state. So definitely oxidation state, it depends on the structure. It depends on the structure. It may be different. We'll find some cases it may be different in case of different compounds. Next, oxidation state may be positive, negative, but are not fractional, whereas oxidation number may be fractional. So oxidation state, it may be positive, it may be negative, but it cannot be fractional. Okay, but oxidation number, you are calculating an average value, so it may appear as a fractional value. So this is also a correct statement related to oxidation state and oxidation number. And so all these three statements are correct. So our correct option, it will be option D, that is all of these. So this is a very important conceptual question related to oxidation state and oxidation number. Let's move to next question. So in this question, it is related to calculation of oxidation number, simple. In the left column, you have some compound with some element underlined, and in the right column, the oxidation number is provided. So in calculating oxidation number, the major concept to use, for any element in free state, the oxidation number, it is taken as 0. For the sum of the oxidation number for any compound, then that will be equal to 0. The algebraic sum of different atoms of their corresponding oxidation number in a compound, that leads to 0. And we have to apply simple this idea to solve this problem. So here, the first case, it is sulfur, elemental sulfur. So elemental sulfur, for any compound in free state, for any element in free state, the oxidation number, it will be taken as 0. So definitely the sulfur S8, it will be definitely R. It moves to R. The correct option, it matches with R. So if any element it exists in free state like sodium, if any element like phosphorus P4, for element like O2, for element like nitrogen, so in all the cases, if it exists in free state, in that case we take the oxidation number, it will be taken as 0. Okay, so here S8, so it has the oxidation number 0. Now for compounds, the sum of the oxidation number of different atoms present in it, that will be equal to 0. Now in case of Na2SO4, if we write Na2SO4, see, so you have to find out the oxidation number of sulfur here. So take the oxidation number of sulfur, in this case it is X. So if you put for sulfur it is X, now sodium, it is a group 1 metal, and group 1 metal, they will have a common valency 1. Now for metals, the oxidation number we will take, it is positive. So just for the group 1 metals, all will execute an oxidation number +1. So I can write sodium, it will be +1, and oxygen, it will be -2. So it will be sodium +2, sulfur X, oxygen, it will be -8. the whole value that goes to 0. So we get X is equal to plus 6. So no doubt in Na2SO4 sulfur has oxidation number, it will be plus 6. So this 2 it matches with P. Now in next, in CaClO2 whole 2. So CaOCl or ClO2 followed by whole 2. Now here I have to find out the oxidation number of chlorine here. So always the element which we have to calculate, take it as X. Oxygen, it will be minus 2. Now calcium, it is a group 2 element. Calcium being a group 2 element, it will show a common valency 2. So its oxidation number, I will take it as plus 2 since calcium is a metal. So let us try to frame the equation. It will be plus 2 plus 2x, because chlorine atom, for each chlorine atom I am taking x. So for 2 chlorine atom it will be 2x, followed by oxygen atom it will be minus 8, that equals to 0. So we get the value of x in this case, that is equals to plus 3. So this question, this column 3, it will have a correct option S. And last one, definitely last one I can further explain it. It will be BaXeO2, Ba2XeO4, O6. Okay. So let us take again xenon I have to calculate. I am taking xenon as X. Barium, it is a group 2 element. Again it will have plus 2. Oxygen, it will be minus 2. So you can find out it will be plus 4. For 2 barium it will be plus 4. Xenon, it is X, it will be minus 12. So if we solve it, the X value it goes to plus 8. Here xenon, it is in plus 8 oxidation state. Okay, so let us see which is the correct option. So 1 it goes to 1, it will have a correct option R. 2 it will have a correct option P. 3 it will have a correct option S, and 4 it goes to Q. So we have a net correct answer, it is option C. So in this problem we just briefly get an idea how to find out oxidation number for the different atoms present in a compound. Now let us move to our next question. Again, this question is related to the finding of oxidation number. A compound is given Rb4Na HV10O28. So don't be confused with the big formulas. We have a general concept, the sum of oxidation numbers of different atoms present in a compound, it will be equal to 0. So here we have to find out the oxidation number of vanadium. So since we have to find out the oxidation number of vanadium, I am rewriting it. It will be Rb4, it is given Rb4Na followed by vanadium 10 and O28. So let us try to apply the same concept. Here vanadium is taking as X. So rubidium, sodium, they are group 1 elements. So it will be plus 1. Sodium, again it will be also plus 1. Hydrogen, it is plus 1. Oxygen, it will be minus 2. So let us try to frame the equation. It will be rubidium, it is plus 4. Sodium, it is plus 1. Hydrogen, again plus 1. Vanadium, it will be 10x. And oxygen, it will be minus 56, that goes to 0. So try to find out the value of X. So definitely we have this X. this X value, it will be plus 5. So here vanadium, it is in plus 5 oxidation number. Here vanadium is in plus 5 oxidation number. Vanadium has oxidation number plus 5. So quickly move to our next question. Here also a question related to NH4NO3, and we have to find out the oxidation states of nitrogen. Think oxidation states. Since this NH4NO3 has 2 nitrogen atoms, so it is not necessary that both the nitrogen atoms will remain in the same oxidation state. If they will have the same oxidation state, then their oxidation state and oxidation number will remain same. But it may not be true in all the cases. So we have to find out the oxidation number of nitrogen in NH4NO3. So one of the way to find out these values, so just break this NH4NO3, which is a salt. It will break to produce the ions NH4NO3. It will produce NH4 plus and NO3 minus. Now try to calculate the oxidation number separately for NH4 plus and NO3 minus. NH4 plus, take nitrogen as X, hydrogen it is plus 1. So X minus plus 4, that is equals to 1. So we have X is equal to minus 3. So in NH4NO3 we will find the oxidation state of nitrogen, it is minus 3. Similarly for NO3 minus, take nitrogen as Y, oxygen minus 2. So we will get Y minus 6, that goes to minus 1, and hence Y is equal to plus 5. Okay, so in NH4NO3, definitely the 2 nitrogen atoms, they are in 2 different oxidation states. In NH4NO3, nitrogen of NH4 plus, it will be minus 3, and NO3 minus, it will be plus 5. Okay, so if you apply the previous method like X, if you take nitrogen as X in both the cases, you will get the oxidation number of nitrogen, it will be plus 2. So that will represent the oxidation number, but not the oxidation state. Okay, so when this type of the same element, it is present in 2 different parts, like cation and anion, 2 different parts, in that cases always just separate that cation and anion part and find out their oxidation state or oxidation number separately. Okay, so we have this correct option. Here it will be minus 3 and plus 5. Option C, that is the correct option. Let us move to the next problem. Now this problem, this problem, here the oxidation number of different atoms A, B, C are given, and you are asked what will be the correct formula. So the best way to solve this problem, you just put this oxidation number in each cases and find whether the value will be 0. Because in what case the value will become 0? Because all these are given some compounds. So in a compound, the sum of the oxidation numbers, that will be equal to 0. So let us take in the first case ABC2. It is given ABC2. Now it is said that it is given here A, it will have oxidation number plus 2, B, it is plus 5, and C, it is minus 2. So A, it is plus 2, B plus 5, oxygen, C, the element C, it will be minus 4. So definitely it will have a net charge. We'll find it will have a net charge plus 3. But ABC2, it does not given, any charge is not given. So this will not be the correct option. Now in this way, if we apply the same idea for A3, BC4 whole 2. Okay, so A it is plus 2, B it is plus 5, and C it is given minus 2. So try to establish. It will be 6 for 3 A atoms, it will be plus 6, plus 2 B atoms, it will be plus 10, and definitely 8 C atoms, it will be minus 16. So let us take this value becomes 0. So in all the cases you try to find out these values. You will, in all the cases, all these cases, here you will, it will get a net charge plus 3. This species should have a net charge plus 3. So it cannot be the correct option. Okay, so the correct option, it will be C. In this case you will get a net charge 0. In all other cases you try to find out, definitely it will not give a 0 value. So our correct option, it will be C. In solving such questions, just put the oxidation number and apply the method. If it becomes 0, then that will be the correct option. Let us move to our next question. It is oxidation number of phosphorus in CaH2PO2 whole 2. So phosphorus, it is calcium H2PO2, okay, and followed by whole 2. Again the concept will be, I am placing the value of phosphorus, it is X, calcium it is a group 2 metal, hydrogen it is plus 1, oxygen it will be minus 2. So calcium plus 2, for 4 hydrogen atoms it will be 4, and 2 phosphorus atom it is 2x, and oxygen it will be minus 8. The whole value that goes to 0. So try to calculate the value of x from here. The x will be equal to plus 1. Let us see this value, it will be equal to plus 1. Okay. So again we have a correct option, it is option C, plus 1. Okay, so here we are dealing with how to find out oxidation number in different cases. All these problems, they deal with the calculation of oxidation number in different cases. Let us move to next question. What is the oxidation number of each sulfur atom in Na2H2O3? Each sulfur atom, think oxidation number for each sulfur atom. If it is said the oxidation number of sulfur atom, that is a separate case. You just take sulfur as X. If the question, just try to differentiate the questions. It is if it is Na2H2O3. If you take sulfur as X, then we have the relation sodium plus 1, oxygen minus 2. So it will be plus 2 plus 2x minus 6, that will be equal to 0, and hence x is equal to plus 2. Now if you write X sulfur having oxidation, it will be plus 2, then it will represent the oxidation number of sulfur. Here the term oxidation number is given, but another term is given for each sulfur. When it is said for each sulfur, that means it deals with the oxidation state of each sulfur. Okay, so when in determining oxidation state, the important concept, that is we have to write down the structure. We have to draw the structure of Na2H2O3. If I would draw the structure Na2H2O3, so Na2H2O3, it will have sulfur in its middle. It is bonded with another sulfur with double bond. It is bonded with oxygen with a double bond. And definitely I have 2 O minus Na2. This is O minus attached with sodium by electrovalent bond. again it will be O minus bonded by electrovalent interaction. Now deciding oxidation number of each sulfur in this case. Oxidation number for each sulfur, that means we have to calculate the oxidation state. So think this oxygen atom, it is more electronegative than sulfur. So this oxygen, it will be removed as -2. It will just drag 2 electrons from this sulfur. So this sulfur will get immediately a charge of +2. Similarly, these oxygen atoms, they will also drag 1 electron. So it will be released as -2 and sulfur getting it is +1. Why +1? Because already this oxygen atom having a negative charge. When it will drag 1 more electron, so it will be removed as -2 and sulfur getting +1. For this oxygen atom, similarly, it will get a +1 charge. Okay, it will get a +1 charge. Now, what will be between the oxidation state or oxidation at number for these 2 sulfur atoms individually? Now, in that case, we have to check the hybridization of the 2 different sulfurs. So think this sulfur having 4 sigma bonds, it will have 4 sigma bonds. That means definitely this sulfur having an hybridization, it is sp3. It possesses a hybridization sp3 because it will have 4 sigma bonds. Now what about this sulfur? This sulfur, it is 1 sigma bond 2 lone pair, so it is sp2 hybridized. And we have this idea, if s character increases, electron withdrawing tendency, that means electronegativity also increases. So this sulfur, sp2 sulfur, it will have the capacity to drag electron from sp3 sulfur. So again it will drag 2 electrons, so it becomes -2. So for sulfur it will be again +2. So the middle sulfur, sp3 sulfur, it will have a charge +6 or +6 oxidation state, whereas another sulfur, it will have -2 oxidation state. No, so if you find out the average value, if you try to find out the average value, average oxidation state, you will get average oxidation state or average oxidation state, that will be definitely +6 for sp3 sulfur and -2 for sp2 sulfur divided by 2. So you will get a value +2. So here by this method we can calculate the oxidation number, which will give an average value. But when you calculate the oxidation state by drawing its structure, so in that case you will get the oxidation state of each sulfur, and you may say it as oxidation number for each sulfur. So we have this correct option. In this case, definitely I would go for, it will be +6 and -2. It will be the most correct option of this question. So let us try to move with the next variation. Here again we have to find out oxidation state of sulfur in a compound like H2S2O8. Here it is H2S2O8. Now if I would make a method just like previous one, taking sulfur as X, if we put sulfur as X, oxygen it is -2, hydrogen it is +1, you just calculate, will get the value of X, it is +7. Think, for 8 oxygen atom -16, 2 hydrogen atom, it becomes total +14. So 2x is equal to plus 14, x is equal to plus 7. Now, in finding, after determining the oxidation number by this method, always we have to go for a check whether this value exceeds its maximum oxidation state or not. So here the sulfur atom, sulfur is a group 16 element. So group 16 element, it will have a maximum oxidation state plus 6. So sulfur being a group 16 element, a group 16 element, or maybe it will be group 6A in modern periodic table. Group 16, it will be modern long form of periodic table. Sulfur being a group 16 element shows a maximum oxidation state, that is plus 6. So sulfur, it cannot show an oxidation state beyond plus 6. It is not possible, because sulfur, if you deal with sulfur having electronic configuration 3s2 3p4. So in the valence shell, sulfur having only 6 electrons. So it is not possible for sulfur to release 7 electrons. So definitely this result, it will give an erroneous result. It is erroneous. Now we will make a trick here. If in any case we find the oxidation number is going to move through its maximum oxidation state, if it exceeds the maximum oxidation state, in 99.9% case, I will put the maximum oxidation state, it will be its correct oxidation number in that situation. Okay, so here definitely, since we can make a trick that since it exceeds the maximum oxidation state, so oxidation state of sulfur will be plus 6, and you may think in this case, now how it becomes plus 6. If it will be plus 6, then in that case we cannot manage the total sum of the charge, it will be 0. So definitely when it crosses the maximum limit, always some oxygen present in it that will remain in peroxy form. In peroxides, the oxygen, it is in -1 oxidation state. So when you get such a result, always you have to strike in your mind that some of the oxygen here, it is not present in form of oxide, but it is present in form of peroxide. Okay, so to explain this, definitely I have to draw the structure of H2S2O8. To explain this, definitely I have to draw the structure of H2S2O8. H2S2O8, it will have a structure like this. When you get sulfur oxygen, then try to produce as much as sulfur oxygen double bond. And definitely H2H2O8, it is an acid. So hydrogen atom, it will be attached with more electronegative oxygen atom. In the same way, I can write another sulfur atom. 2 sulfur atoms are there. It will be also like this. Now think, how many oxygen atoms are left? I have already written 6 oxygen atoms. So remaining oxygen atoms, definitely they will be present in form of peroxides. Now if you find out the oxidation state in this case, so see, you will get this value like oxygen, it will be removed as -2, so here sulfur gets +2. Again this oxygen, it will be removed as -2, it will be sulfur becomes +4. OH, it will be removed as OH minus, sulfur again becomes plus, it will be plus 5. Now this oxygen, it will be removed as minus 1. For this oxygen, think, it will drag one more electron from oxygen. This oxygen, it will drag one electron from sulfur, so it becomes minus 1. In its nearest neighbor, there will be another oxygen. So this, it cannot drag electron from this oxygen. So from this oxygen there will be no charge separation. So here this sulfur getting plus 6 oxidation state. By the same way, you have also get this sulfur as plus 6 oxidation state. Okay, plus 6 oxidation state. I am repeating this situation. This sulfur oxygen bond, oxygen is removed as minus 2, sulfur getting plus 2. This oxygen, it is removed as minus 2, sulfur getting again plus 2, that means plus 4. This OH, it will be removed as minus OH minus, sulfur getting again plus 1, that means a total of plus 5. This oxygen, it will be removed as minus 1, sulfur getting plus 1, that means a total of plus 6. Okay, now this is due to, so this result we got, it is due to this peroxy linkage. But in the previous case, when we apply a general method, we are taking all the oxygen as minus 2, which is not true. So here we are getting a peroxy linkage. Peroxy linkage. We are getting a peroxy linkage. And for your information, this acid, it is known as Marshall acid. It is one of the very strong oxidizing acid. It is Marshall acid. If you electrolyze 50% sulfuric acid, then at the anode you will get this acid. It is a very strong oxidizing acid. Okay, so here the trick we apply in most of the cases, the trick we will apply if in any case there will be a situation where oxidation state, it exceeds its maximum oxidation state. So in that case, almost 99% case, I will take the maximum oxidation state, it will be its real oxidation state in that situation. After completing this concept, like when we find the oxidation number or maybe oxidation state, if we find that value it exceeds in some cases its group valency or its group oxidation state, so confirm in that case there will be the existence of some peroxy linkage if oxygen is present. So we make a general rule. Almost this rule will be applicable for 99% case. If there will be any situation where oxidation number exceeds its maximum oxidation state corresponding to its group number, so in that case we will take the maximum oxidation state, it will be its oxidation number in that cases. Now here we are dealing with again a new problem which will also reflect on that idea. Suppose here some combination is given and it is said in which case the combination is odd one. So some compounds are given in A, B, C, D options. So try to check first what are their oxidation numbers. So in H2SO5, the first compound it is given H2SO5. In H2SO5, see, if you find out the oxidation number of sulfur by taking it X, so the value of X, it becomes plus 8. It becomes plus 8. So already we studied that sulfur being a group 16 element, it can show a maximum oxidation number. For sulfur it is plus 6, but plus 6 is the maximum oxidation number. maximum oxidation state of sulfur in any case. Okay, so in the previous problem or already I discussed, when it exceeds the maximum oxidation state, always take that maximum oxidation state, it will be its actual oxidation state in that compound. Okay, so here in H2SO5 we say the oxidation number of sulfur, it will be +6, since it exceeds the highest oxidation state of sulfur. Now you may ask me how it becomes +6. So simple, very simple. You have to draw its structure. If I would draw this structure, again this structure, it should contain some peroxy linkage. All the oxygens are not present in form of oxide. Some oxygens, they are also present in form of peroxide. So let's check. So this oxygen, it will be released as -2. It will also be released as -2. So for this oxygen, the sulfur becomes +2. Again for this oxygen, it becomes +2. And for this OH group, it will be +1 OH, it will be released as OH minus. And for this oxygen, it will be -1, and this oxygen, it will be also -1. So again for this oxygen, this sulfur getting +1 with a total of +6. So here the oxidation state of sulfur, here it is +6. In H2S2O8 we find here also it will exceed the maximum oxidation state of sulfur, it will be +6. In H2S2O7, so here you will get the value again +6, and in SF6 here also sulfur is +6. So there is no odd. All the oxidation number in this case, they are remaining +6. So there is no odd. Now if I will deal with the next option B, chromium, K2Cr2O7. So here chromium is in +6 oxidation state. Apply this method. Here also chromium K2CrO4, it is +6. And a case here it is given, that is definitely CrO5. So in case of CrO5, if you calculate the oxidation state of chromium as X, you will get this value +10. Now chromium also, it is a group 6 element. Chromium being a group 6 element shows highest oxidation state. That is +6. So chromium also, it cannot show an oxidation state higher than +6. So already I told you that when in any case the oxidation number, it exceeds its group valence, maximum group valence state, so the maximum oxidation state, it will be taken for that particular element. So here in CrO5 I would write chromium having +6 oxidation state. Now if you try to find out its explanation, so definitely you have to draw the structure. In CrO5 it will have a very well known butterfly like structure. Where we will get two peroxy linkages. So think here, this oxygen, it is -1, it is also -1, but this oxygen it is -2, and you will get a total of +6 oxidation state. It is chromium peroxide. In CrO5, chromium is in +6 oxidation state. So here chromium it is +6, and CrO2Cl2, here also chromium it is +6. So there is no odd. All the chromium atoms in all these series of compounds, chromium is in +6 oxidation state. Now think, in NH3, in this case NH3, nitrogen -3, NH4, here nitrogen also -3, NH4 plus. In HN3, if you say about HN3, this HN3 definitely, here nitrogen is in -1/3 oxidation number. Take hydrogen as +1, nitrogen as x, so you have this relation +1 plus 3x, that is equals to 0. So we get x is equal to -1/3. So the oxidation number here for nitrogen, it is -1/3 in hydrazoic acid. Okay, and in NO2 minus, here nitrogen is in +3 oxidation state. In NO2 minus, try to calculate it, it will be +3. So in this case we are not getting a same oxidation number for all the nitrogen atoms. So I think it will be the correct option. It is a odd combination here. And for simplicity, if I would deal with the last option, here hydrogen is allowed to combine with metals. When hydrogen will combine with metals of group 1 or group 2, so hydrogen always acts as hydride. In all the hydrides, hydrogen definitely it is in -1 oxidation state. So calcium it is +2, hydrogen -1, this here also hydrogen -1. So here in all the cases we are getting hydrogen -1. So it is not also an odd situation. Only the odd situation it appears in case of option C. Now move to next question. Now see, it's a very interesting question. Till now I am discussing if in any case, if the oxidation number of a particular atom in a compound it exceeds highest oxidation number. So you say that definitely it is not possible. Highest oxidation number it will exceed, it is not possible. In that case you put the highest oxidation number as its correct oxidation number in that situation. In already we studied in CrO5, in H2SO5, in H2S2O8, in all the cases the oxidation state or oxidation number of sulfur it exceeds its highest oxidation state of sulfur. So in all the cases we set the highest oxidation state +6 for sulfur or +6 for chromium. Now here a reverse problem is asked. A question, a compound is given and you are asked how many peroxy linkages are present. So again we use the same concept. Think, if in any situation it exceeds the highest oxidation state, confirm there will be the presence of peroxide if oxygen is present. So in this compound here also I am applying KHCrO6. So let us take potassium +1, hydrogen also +1. So chromium, again I am taking chromium, it is X, oxygen as -2. So if you find out the value of X here also, you will get this value, it will be +10. We will find this value, it is +10. So it exceeds highest oxidation state of chromium, exceeds highest oxidation state of chromium. chromium, that is plus 6. So in that situation, I will definitely say that in KHCrO6, chromium will be plus 6. Now in the previous cases, what we have done? To explain this plus 6 oxidation state, I have drawn the structure of the compound. Now it is not possible to draw the structure in all the cases. We cannot memorize the structure in all the cases. So in such situation, how to determine the oxidation numbers? How to determine the number of peroxy linkages from this concept? So let's see. In KHCrO6, I am taking a general consideration that if it exceeds highest oxidation state, definitely some oxygen are present in form of peroxide. So I don't know how many oxygens are present in form of peroxide. I am taking this value as X. So definitely here oxygen is -1, and the rest of the oxygen, total 6 oxygen, X number of oxygen, it will exist as peroxide. So definitely 6 minus X, this number of oxygen, it will be present as oxide, that is -2. Very simple idea. I am taking, if there will be an exceed of highest oxidation state, so confirm there will be the presence of peroxide. Now using this concept, I can also calculate number of peroxy linkages present in a particular compound. Okay, so here definitely potassium +1, hydrogen +1, and chromium it is +6. Okay, so just frame that equation. Oxygen, X number of oxygen, it is -1, and definitely it will be -12 plus 2x, that is equals to 0. If you simplify it, you can get the value of X is equal to 4. So value of X, what is X? We have taken X is the number of oxygen present as peroxide. So 4 oxygen atoms, they will be present in form of peroxides. So definitely how many peroxy linkages are present? So number of peroxy linkages, So for each peroxy linkage, we need 2 oxygen. For each peroxy linkage, we need 2 oxygen. So definitely for by taking 4 oxygen atoms in form of peroxide, we can produce 2 peroxy linkages. Taking 2 oxygen, we can produce 1 peroxy linkage. So 4 oxygen atoms, they will produce 2 peroxy linkages. Now the question, it is how many peroxy linkages, number of peroxy linkages present in the compound. So definitely the answer, it will be 2 peroxy linkages. There will be 2 peroxy linkages because 4 oxygen atoms are present as -1 oxidation state. Now to produce 1 peroxy linkage, we need 2 oxygen atoms. So definitely with the help of 4 oxygen atoms in form of peroxide, we can produce 2 peroxy linkages.